Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Marius. I'm a new agent and I want to tell you guys a little story what happened with my first listing as a new agent. When I went and got my license, I just YouTubed a bunch of videos of how to get clients, of what to do, and I came across some videos that as new agents they should call for sale by owners. When I got my license, that's exactly what I did. When I got my license, I went on Zillow and I called all the for sale by owners. And eventually I got one person to say yes to an appointment that I set to meet with them about their property. Went to this appointment, I convinced them and they signed the documents to make me their agent and list their property. And this property was in a very nice area, very beautiful subdivision. So you can imagine, I was just happy. For me as a new agent, coming from nothing, no one's helping me or anything like that, it was something huge for me. No one helped me. I pretty much just YouTubed everything, to be honest. As a new agent, I was just ecstatic. I was just literally on cloud nine. And so I helped them even with like setting up the property so we get the property ready for pictures. I did landscaping, we cleaned our home, we did everything so we can get this property ready, and I did a lot of this work for free. And I'll tell you this, guys, don't do work for free until you know for 100% that you're gonna get a commission from it. So what happened with this property, I got it, I listed it, I did a lot of free work for them, for these people. So this one time, a lot of agents were calling me to preview the property, and this one agent called me and they're like, hey, we have this buyer out of state, they want to come see the property, can we go look at it? And I'm like, yeah, let me call my clients and see if they can do that. And I called them. When I called them, they were telling me that they can't show the property because they're going into surgery, and it was the weekend. So this agent called me that they wanted to see the property on the weekend when their buyers are coming into town. And so I contacted my client and they're like, hey, we can't show the property on the weekend because we're going into surgery. I'm going to surgery, said the client. At that moment, I didn't understand that. It was just weird how everything worked out, but I didn't understand that. And when this agent called me and they're like, hey, can we show the property on the weekend? I'm like, yeah, that's perfect timing. The clients are in surgery, they're gonna be gone from home. It was just perfect, everything's gonna work out perfectly. That's what I thought, and it obviously didn't go like that. What happened was that these clients, the agent and their clients, went to see this property, and the agent called me back and they're like, hey, we can't get into the house. For some reason, we have a lockbox here and we can't unlock. There's no lockbox. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Usually the lockbox is outside the front door. And my brother, he's also an agent, and he showed that same house, my property, to a different client. And they left the back door open when they went and saw the property. He forgot to close it. So when this other agent called me that they went to go see the house on the weekend when my clients were in surgery, they called me and they're like, hey, we can't get into the house. I'm like, perfect. You guys can go around the back and go through the back and get inside the house. The agent's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. The agent went inside the house to the back, and he went upstairs and unlocked the door, and that's when everything just went downhill. When they unlocked that front door, my clients have an alarm system. Like, obviously, it makes sense. So when they unlocked, the alarm system went off, and it just went crazy. The agent called me back and they're like, what is happening? There's an alarm system going off. What are we doing? It was just horrible for me and the agent because they had their buyers and everything. I was new, obviously, and I'm like, what do I do? I was just confused. I'm like, what is happening? I was like, let me call my clients. And when I think about it, it's kind of funny. I called my clients and I was like, think about it, they just got out of surgery, and I'm like, I look back at it, I just want to slap myself. I wish I could take everything back, but I just didn't know what to do. I was panicking at the moment. Obviously, I was like, what do? I have to call them and disarm the alarm. So I called the clients and they just got out of surgery. So they're just all over the place, They're like, what? You let somebody go inside the property while I'm in surgery? How could you do this? And they just went ham on me. They started chewing me out. And I'm like freaking out over there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm done for. I'm gonna go to jail. I literally thought I was gonna go to jail for whatever reason. The client just fired me. They're like, come and take your sign, take your lockbox, everything. We're done. I was like, I just felt horrible. I didn't even know what to do. The client told me, like, we're gonna send the cops over to disarm the alarm. That agent needs to leave. And they're like saying that the agent took stuff from the property, and that's what was freaking me out. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a new agent, what do I do? My client, or now my ex-client, called my brokerage and just chewed them out as well. Broker called me, he's like, so what lesson did you learn from all this? I'm like, well, the biggest lesson I learned was communication. Obviously communicate and know exactly what your client is saying to you, and I didn't at that moment. So that was like the biggest thing ever for me. I wish I could take everything back, but I guess everything happens for a reason, and you have to learn from your mistakes. And that's what I definitely did. I definitely learned from my mistakes. It was just horrible. All in all, it was just a horrible experience. As my first listing, as like what happened, it was just not good. And I wish I could take everything back. And that's what happened with my first listing. That's the story with my first listing. It was a horrible story, and I wanted to share that with you guys and share my experience with you guys, so you guys can learn from my mistakes, so you guys won't do the same mistakes. Just a lack of communication. I was just over the moon that I got this listing. Everything was just happening so fast, I couldn't believe it. And I have some other stories, but that was the worst story that I experienced as a new agent so far. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you guys liked the story. I hope you guys learned from it. I hope it was funny. Sometimes I laugh at it, even though it was at my expense, and it was just horrible. But anyway, that's what happened, and I hope you guys learn from my mistakes and you guys do a better job of communicating with your clients, unlike me as a new agent. But anyway, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys come back to the next video and show my experience. This whole channel is just about sharing my experience as a new agent and taking you guys through this journey, and I hope you guys can learn from it. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Thank you so much.